Hi, this is B from Sorcery Soap, and today we're going to make little Arctic foxes. So these are a little bit beat up and older because I keep one of or a few of anything that I make, and I try to keep the shape of things that I like regardless if they're perfect. So I like this shape. I like this mostly. This is my favorite shape right here, and I'll tell you why. First of all, it fits on the top of a bar really nicely, and I like the shape of his nose. I like the view of his eyes. I like how his eyes look straight and his ears look erect. And this one, let's see, I think I made this one yesterday. Yeah. And you can see this one's really old. So the soap discolors a bit after you've had it for quite a while. And some people have asked how long you can keep soap before you use it on top of a soap. And I don't usually like to put my beat up ones on top of a soap. I just keep them for examples. But if I keep them in a drawer in a dust-free environment for the most part, they can stay a pretty long time until you're inspired to use them. And just like regular soap, and I like them to be hard when I put them on top. I don't like them to be freshly made or soft. So that's my little 2 cents. So we're going to use him as the example, and I'll show you how to make him, because I'll put on the description what page from the book this is in, but I've made Arctic foxes in the past. I've never done a video to show how these are made. So you guys, the Patreon soap witches, will be the first to see this. And no, I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff in the media today. I don't pay attention to all that. I do research and think for myself, but I would like to say that I'm really grateful that you all have a good tongue-in-cheek sense of humor, because, you know, I'm not into anything weird. I just look at fact-based world with a little bit of wonder and hopefully childish enthusiasm. And so when I use the term witch, I try to interchange it often with sister, because it's just a term of endearment. It means that we can poke fun at ourselves and each other and have a good sense of humor about life. So I really appreciate you following along with my odd sense of humor. Odd or not, I don't know, you all seem to get it. So okay, I'm going to move him out of the way. So you saw what I was doing. I was mushing it up to try to make it smooth. We can smooth those things out. So you want to make this at this point like this. And you know how I figured this out? I have no idea. This is just what I ended up doing. So, and then you pinch it right in front like this. Try to roll that out just a bit. And then bring his nose okay, so we kind of have the shape of it. You can see that right there already. And we're just going to roll it around like this. And so his tail can be as big as you want it. Sometimes I like to wrap it up behind it, and if it's too big and he looks too snake-like, we'll just pinch his tail off. And the reason I started making him like this is because I wanted to make the idea of the fox, the little Arctic fox, without fiddling with his legs, because his legs are all going to probably be tucked in the soap anyway. So I can see I have a little bit of hole here. So I want to make sure there. Okay. And then I'm going to make his eyes. Let's see which side. I used a different one for that. So can you see? Yeah, you can see. Okay. So this is older soap dough. It's not super old. you know, maybe, I don't know, can't even tell you, maybe a week, a month, it could be. But it's older soap dough, and so it's going to be firmer and it's going to have a little bit more cracks. But the upshot to that is that you get a much smoother finish. So if you can not mess with it too much and just do it like the very first time. And so I make his nose a little flat to fit that other nose on there, the little black piece on there. And of course you can mess with this as much as you like. Okay. And then once I get this all done, I'll smooth it off with my finger and some water, but right now I don't want it to be slippery. Okay, so you can kind of see his face right there. Sometimes I make him a little geometric and add a little bit of detail like that. Okay, great. So we have him there. Stick where his eyes are going to go. Oops, drop your tool just like I did. And see, it cracked him right there. So let's heal that with some water real quick. Oh, no, wait, let me spill water everywhere. Okay, that's why I only put a little bit of water in there generally, but I thought I was going to be working a lot today. I don't know what's going on in your part of the world, but I can tell you here, it's awesome. We had a great big storm last night, and I went outside probably 20 times. First the wind came through and it was amazing. And I thought maybe we'd get a little bit of a tornado, because we do get little tornadoes out in Arizona. But we got some rain, not as much as what it threatened for. Okay, so now let's do his ears. So I have the cutters. When we make them this small, that was made with a cutter, the cutter right there. You can see, and that's much easier just to stick that on, but he's a little bit bigger, so he's going to have more foxy-like ears. Of course, that technique that I just do that and pull him apart, because they sort of, it works and I don't have to futz with it too much. And there is a, look at, okay, so we want that much, like about that much. There we go. Okay. And we want to make an opening in his head. So that's why I don't always know what to call these guys, because sometimes they look like a wolf and sometimes they look like a fox, but I've been watching some nature channel or nature shows, so maybe I'll start working on making him look more fox-like with those big ears. So his big ears right now. Okay. And you've seen me do this before, but for those who are new, I like to try to get the soap pieces that I stick to adhere and to make one continuous piece so that the pieces have less of a chance of breaking off. I know it takes time and it seems, but it'll save you a pain in the butt later on. At least it saves me that. So I got asked a question the other day about how do I get pieces to stick to each other, and I used to use cocoa patine like I talk about in one of my books, a couple of my books, and I stopped using that in case of, and only I use that in case of emergency. I really need something to stick, and water doesn't seem to be doing the trick. But most of the time, soap dough, you're going to get water to do the trick. But the real secret is to do it like this. Okay. And then don't touch it. Just put it down. There. Now we're going to make sure my hands are pretty clean so we can get the black out. We'll make his eyes and his nose. This black, older black and older white just are well, all colors, but I guess I have a lot of this around. They're just, see how nice and smooth that is? That's clay-like. That is just my absolute favorite. Let's see, that looks like the right size. Maybe just a tick bigger. No, that looks good. Nope, that one needs a bit more. Okay. Round would be ideal. There. Now make his nose. And this is a little fiddly, but this is the best tool I have to do this. There. Okay. Too much water. I will dump that. I always do. So this needs a little pocket or something to sit into. There, let me spray the bubbles out of his eyes. And there you go. There's a little Arctic fox without too much fuss. So tell me what you think of that. If you found this useful, or if it helped you think of another thing to make. And there. Okay, thanks. Bye.